Hello. Welcome back to another episode of S.W.A.T. Episode 6, Review and Ending. Someone shot and killed an abortion doctor. Dr. Jeremy Scott was on his way into the workplace when someone approached his car and inquired as to his identity. The man stated that he was, but he didn't expect a bullet in return. The doctor was killed. The clinic's security man was also fatally shot. They were unprepared for bloodshed. The clinic was used by protesters. They get them every day. Things have been gradually rising over the last few years, and individuals are now resorting to violence to settle their problem. People who disagree with abortion never receive them. Or plan to get them. They live their lives as they see fit, and they may form charities to support single mothers. This serial killer did not care about solutions. He wanted to be part of the problem. He was killing people. Scott was scheduled to pick up his daughter from ballet that day. The killer went on to murder Mia Edwards, a nurse. She was not even executing the treatments. She was a nurse who primarily performed blood work for patients and occasionally taught safe sex lessons. They called in S.W.A.T. to apprehend this serial killer. They ran a reverse search for the victims' names. It directed them to the website, United for the Unborn. It was led by John Clayton. He publishes doctors' and nurses' true names on his website. He said that there were killers. He instructed his people to disgrace them. He explains where they can be found. He didn't shoot, but he helped the killer find victims. Gamble attempted to warn Clayton that what he was doing was dangerous, and he went on a rant about how he was doing the right thing. Gamble was going to tell him off when Deacon intervened. Deck was not pro-choice. Gamble figured this out over time. She had no idea at first that Deke was given the nickname Deacon since his Christian beliefs defined him so completely. Deke was a lovely person. He simply didn't believe abortion was the solution. He was not shouting at individuals from outside the clinics. He wasn't simply compiling kill lists by identifying and locating abortion providers. He was instead soliciting funds for those in need. His church was working tirelessly to assist youngsters all across the world. After Clancy was ruled out as a suspect, they investigated his website to discover who had accessed it. They discovered their suspect. His name is Paul Hayes. Hayes shot someone at a gym and escaped before being captured. The gym assault led police to discover that Paul had also slain his wife. Paul was not pro-life. He killed his wife first. Hannah was about to leave him after years of abuse, and he murdered her to prevent her from going. Hannah's buddies included the doctor, the nurse, and the gym trainer. They persuaded her to leave her abusive spouse. They reminded her that her children would not be safe with Paul. Paul believes these individuals have damaged his family. He doesn't consider himself an abusive person. He did not realize that his family was afraid of him. He believes his family would be ideal if his wife quit bothering him every now and then. Paul killed his wife. He wouldn't let her leave him, so Hannah devised an excellent escape plan. She was packing the suitcases while he was working. The children were taken out of school at the start of the day and stayed with her sister. They were all meant to fly to Missouri once they escaped. Paul has his wife's mobile. He contacted his sister-in-law by pretending to be Hannah. Jen had no idea her sister was already deceased. Paul, in the meantime, tracked them all to the motel. He was armed and taking detainees when S.W.A.T. caught up with him again. Paul used his children as human shields. The children were terrified. They were calling out for their mother. Jen wasn't present to calm them down. She almost escaped Paul alive. When Paul went to a lift with his kids, he pressed the emergency stop button. He entrapped them all. S.W.A.T. was descending to the lift, but it was taking time. They did not have time. Paul did not want to go to prison and never see his kids again. He was about to convince himself to kill them when Hondo arrived. Hondo tackled Paul. He disarmed him. They opened the doors and returned the youngsters to Aunt Jen. Paul was facing multiple life terms in prison. Gamble later explained to Deacon how he was able to remain calm. He told her that nothing phases him anymore since he can always find something in individuals to remind him that they are human. Thank you for watching.